The Netflix show Narcos about Pablo Escobar was nominated for a Golden Globe and is a big hit all over the world. It made us want to look at the man behind the story and his life shown in pictures. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. Today we're going to tell you about Pablo Escobar and how he used to spend his billions. Escobar was the leader of the notorious Medellin cartel and the richest criminal in the history of the world. By the early 1990s, he was worth about $30 billion, which he'd gotten through sneaky, often violent, and carefully planned means. Even though he was killed by a Colombian special operations team at the age of 44, the king of cocaine had one of the most full, exciting, and wealthy lives of any figure in human history. Pablo Escobar made a deal with the government of Colombia. He agreed to serve a 5-year term in his home country instead of being sent to another country. The drug lord, on the other hand, was not only able to choose his own security team, but he was also in charge of planning and building his own private facility. The result was La Catedral, also called the Cathedral, which had a football field, pool bar, and a waterfall on site. Pablo Escobar was also able to choose who would go with him on the trip inside La Catedral. Pablo took some of his most loyal guards with him, and he used his connections to the outside world to keep running his illegal business from the jail he'd set up for himself. Many people, first and foremost, thought that Pablo had set up his arrest as a way to protect himself from his gang rivals who might try to kill him. When Escobar was running away from the police and his daughter got hypothermia, the drug lord burned more than $2 million to keep her warm. He was so concerned about his children's safety that he did this even when he was in danger. The way Escobar thought about life was called plato o plomo, which means silver or lead. This phrase refers to the choice that the boss of the cartel gave to those who tried to take him on. Either take a bribe and get paid for it, silver, or deal with the bullets, lead. Pablo Escobar was so rich he was able to buy his way into the Colombian Congress, which led to him being given instant immunity from the law. The job gave him a diplomatic visa, which let the drug lord go to Miami. There, he used the money he made from selling drugs to buy many mansions. He lived a life of luxury with beautiful homes and a private plane. Some sources say that he offered to pay off Colombia's debt, which was thought to be worth $10 billion if any deal to extradite him was canceled. Pablo Escobar had a lot of high-end cars, such as airplanes, helicopters, and boats. He also owned a lot of homes in different parts of the country. Some of his things, which included 141 homes, 142 planes, 20 helicopters, and 32 yachts, could only be taken by the cops in Colombia. Pablo Escobar was the biggest drug dealer of all time. In today's money, he was worth $56 billion. He's more powerful than well-known drug lords like Armando Carrillo Fuentes, Dawood Ibrahim Cascar, and Joaquin El Chapo Guzman of Mexico. Pablo Escobar would keep his cash together with a lot of rubber bands because he couldn't put all of it in banks. Pablo would spend more than $2,500 a month just on rubber bands to hold his paper bills together. This is without a doubt one of the most interesting things about Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar did buy a lot of cars and houses, and one of his smuggling innovations was to use subs to bring cocaine to the United States. Escobar owned a lot of things, including a farm in Puerto Triunfo in Antioquia, Colombia. Escobar kept elephants, hippos, and giraffes in his private zoo, which was called Hacienda Nopoles. Hippos are still out and about in the world. Let's take a look at how he got all of this. Pablo Escobar is, for all the wrong reasons, one of the most successful people in the world. Escobar had a business plan that was years ahead of its time because he was smart and had a lot of contacts. Even with help from the US, the Colombian government went on many wild goose chases to try to stop him. In his prime, he had almost as much power and impact as the president of a country. Pablo Escobar's father was a farmer and his mother was a teacher. People say that he started his crime career when he was a teenager by selling fake degrees. Then he added making a fake report card. He quickly started selling illegal radio gear and tombstones that had been stolen. This deadly and well-organized Colombian gang was started by Escobar in 1972. The group, which was led by Escobar, was both a drug gang and a criminal group with ties to terrorism. This began in the city of Medellin in Colombia. One of the most important things to know about Pablo Escobar. At its peak, the Medellin cartel controlled most of the drug market. At this point, Pablo Escobar was making almost $420 million a week. This made him one of the wealthiest and most powerful people in the world. In the 1980s, Moravians felt like the Colombian government had forgotten about them. In the meantime, Pablo Escobar came along and oversaw the building of 1,000 new homes, a soccer field, and a sewer system. People say that he found something he had in common with the poor and planned to use that to get their support for his run for Congress. Even though Pablo Escobar only worked in a few countries, his drug gang used to supply more than 85% of the world's cocaine market. At its peak, the Medellin cartel sent a huge amount of cocaine all over the world every week. Escobar also got help from his family and business friends. His brother, Roberto de Jesus Escobar Gaviria, also helped him with his drug business. Gaviria, who was a bookkeeper and was often called El Osito or Little Bear, was in charge of bringing cocaine into the United States. In the early 1970s, Pablo Escobar and the other people in his gang began selling cocaine. In 1981, when he became a citizen, he took a rare picture of his family in front of the White House. Escobar and his family also took a first-class flight to Disneyland at the same time. During his time as a drug dealer, Pablo Escobar is guilty of more than one death. At least 4,000 people, including 1,000 police officers, government officials, journalists, and 200 judges were killed during Escobar's drug rule. Some stories say that one of Pablo Escobar's tricks for smuggling drugs was to hide cocaine in old plane tires, which made it hard for officials to find him during those years. After getting away from La Catedral, he spent the next year and a half running from the police. On December 2, 1993, Colombian National Police shot him in the ear, leg, and body. Who shot the last bullet into Pablo Escobar's ear is not known. Pablo's family also thinks that he killed himself because Escobar always said that he would shoot himself in the ear if he was stuck somewhere and couldn't get out. Pablo Escobar is still known as the most wealthy drug dealer in history. In today's money, his net worth would be equal to $56 billion. This makes him different from other notorious drug lords like Armando Carrillo Fuentes, Dawood Ibrahim Cascar, and Joaquin El Chapo Guzman of Mexico, among others. Even though he tried hard, Escobar couldn't spend or give his family all of the money he made from selling drugs. Instead, Escobar kept his money hidden in buildings and fields while he was in power. His brother said that about $2.1 billion of his wealth is lost every year because of wear and tear. Even though they haven't found this wealth yet, people haven't stopped looking for it. That's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and comment down with your thoughts on this lifestyle, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.